My name is Roina. I am one of the PMs on the Microsoft Graph Developer Experience team. I work with the engineers who are behind the JavaScript SDK. And so I want to start off by saying a big thanks to all our contributors on the JavaScript SDK. It's been a long journey, and we're really just trying to make changes to make sure that if you're using this JavaScript SDK, that you are having the best possible experience. So we put the V3 in GA of the JavaScript SDK in mid-August. And thank you so much for the traction already on moving up from 2.1. And we do have a couple of changes that I felt would be important for contributors here to keep in mind. This new version has breaking changes. We have the Node.js 10 LPS or higher requirement, and we also have the update to TypeScript 4 point whatever it is right now. So yeah, if you are bumping up, these are breaking changes that you're going to need to consider. And also, we've made a couple of enhancements on the large file upload tasks. We're now allowing you to upload a lot bigger files. We have added also new classes to allow you to manage the upload process even better. We also removed the timeout option from the fetch options interface, and we've given you an alternative way to cancel the request by passing a signal here. This is the upgrade guide. It can be found on our GitHub repo. We also did a blog post on the 365 developer blog that I will share on the link after my presentation that can give you much greater detail of what these enhancements mean to your workflow. And if you do need any help transitioning, or if you are using any of the tool chains that are currently exposing the JavaScript SDK, but you're on the older versions, we are trying to enable you to move to the newer versions of the JavaScript SDK because there's a lot more cooler functionalities that you can leverage on. And we also are hoping to collaborate with like the SharePoint File Exchange team and the Teams one too, to enable you to bring your own, to use whatever version of the JavaScript SDK that you would want to in your workflows if you're using any of those tool chains. So that's something that's currently under the works and should be expected as an enhancement coming soon. If this is beneficial to you, please reach out, let us know, and we can also just like collaborate on the kind of scenarios you're using the JavaScript and those tool chains for. And yeah, we'd love your feedback on that. We also removed the Graph.js SDK, and it's being shipped now as the Graph.js SDK.js. So there's that change that's also there. And then there's also a few enhancements on some folder paths. I'm not going to go into that. Yeah, and so the other big one is authentication. We are introducing support for the Azure Identity Token Credentials in version 3.0. And yeah, because we understand that there is a gap in the browser authentication, we've also given you an authentication package that can allow you to use the MSAL browser auth. So that's also available if based off of the current gaps of the token credentials implementation right now. We have deprecated implicit MSAL auth provider because of the flow, the implicit authorization flow not being recommended any longer. So that's a huge deprecation to keep in mind. We are still trying to restructure our authentication options on the JavaScript SDK. So please look out for changes on that. And just an open call to anybody who is using the JavaScript SDK who is having challenges moving from one of the older versions. Our data shows us that a lot of the JavaScript SDK users are currently still on 1.0. We'd love to know what your experience is and what the blockers are to transitioning so that we can make that a lot easier for you. I will share the relevant links for our repo. If you do have any feedback, our repo is here with updated documentation. And you can also always just submit an issue and we'll get back to you. And also leverage our GitHub discussions and Microsoft Q&A if you have any questions in regards to this. And yeah, I will share the relevant links too. That's pretty much it for me, Vesa. Let me see if there's any questions on the chat.
Thanks, Roina. There was a chat, I think that was raised 2 times related on alignments with SharePoint framework and that version with the TypeScript and Microsoft Graph Toolkit. So it might be that we need to take some of this offline, but any updates on that? Can you comment or
Yes. I can comment that work on alignment with SharePoint will be commencing this second quarter of our planning process. So we'd already scoped out what needs to be done and we're already in conversations on making that happen. So we will be seeing good progress on that front from the end of September moving forward.
Cool. That was all of what was pending in the chat. Thank you, Roina, on this one.